Good afternoon. Today I want us to talk about the naming system in Luo. We may not exhaust everything, but I'm going to handle the most common naming systems that we know of. So Luos had different ways of naming their children. Number one is they are naming their children depending on the time of day of the birth of the child. So the time of day would mean maybe if the birth occurred in the morning, during the day, or even at night. So when a child was born very early, just between 1 a.m. to 3 a.m., this child, if he is a boy, would be named Odur. Odur. A child that is born after that, that is between 5 and 6 a.m., would gain the name Omondi if he's a boy, or Amondi if she's a girl. Another time that would be used to name children would be between 7 and 8. It is still morning, but at least the sun is shining, though not very strong. These children would be named Anyango or Onyango. So Anyango is a female name, whereas Onyango is a male name to mean Gonyango, early in the morning as people are still, or as the sun is just coming up. Then we have Akinyi. Akinyi. Akinyi is a name given to girls that are born also in the morning, but after 9. It is between 9 and 11, when the sun is still not hot. At around midday to late afternoon, we'd have a chieng in the case of a girl and uchieng in the case of a boy, because the Luo name for the sun is chieng. So if you are born during that time when it is still hot or it is up, you'll be named a chieng or ochieng. Then we have Adhiambo or Odhiambo. So these are people who are named in the evening because Godhiambo in Luo means evening. So in that case, that particular person will be named Adhiambo or Odhiambo. Then we have the naming at night. The naming at night. So a girl would be named Atieno and a boy would be named Otieno because night in Luo is referred to as Gotieno. So a child named at that particular time would be either Atieno or Otieno. Then we have namings according to seasons. The Luos would use seasons to name their children. To begin with, we have those children that were named during rainy season. They were called Akoth or Okoth. Actually, they are still called the same because in Luo, Koth means rain. Koth actually is rain. Then again, under seasons, we have Akeyo or Okeyo. Akeyo or Okeyo is a child that is born during harvesting because to harvest is Keyo in Luo. So a child that is born during that time is Akeyo or Okeyo. Then we have the weeding season, Doyo, weeding. A child born at that time when people are weeding. Remember, as we plant our crops, we have activities that take place at different stages in the crops. So at weeding time, we'll talk about Doyo. So we'll call them Adoyo or Udoyo. Then at around this time, because the weeds are so much, they're coming up, we'll have Obuya or Abuya. Buya is a weed. So before they are weeded, they are still there in the farm. So when a child is born during that time, just before weeding, we call them Abuya or Ubuya. We also have those children that are born during drought. It is so dry. Some would still use a chieng or ochieng because the sun is hot, but mostly to denote drought and that particular phenomena, they'll name their children Aoro or Oro. Though Aoro can be both feminine and masculine. There are those who are called Aoro who are girls, and there are those who are called Aoro and they are boys. So it is accepted. Then another one is during the locust. There's a time that locusts invaded the land, and most children that were born at that time were called Bonyo, because Bonyo is a type of a locust that invaded the farms sometimes back. Then we have the naming system that is given according to circumstance. It could be circumstance of birth. Actually, most of it is a circumstance of birth. So these names include Apio and Adongo. Now, Apio and Odongo are names reserved for twins. They're names reserved for twins. So if somebody is named Apio or Opio, then this is the first twin to come out during delivery. Pio, to mean first. So he came out first or she came out first. Then we have Adongo or Odongo. So these are the twin children that came later or second during that particular birth. From the word dong, Odong. Odong means he or she remained. So the first one to come out is Apio or Opio. The second to come out is Odongo or Adongo. Then we have Akelo. Akelo is a name given to a child that follows twins. From the word kelo, to mean it is somehow like it's related to luck or good luck, like he or she is the one who ensured that twins came first. So we call them Akelo or Okelo. Then we have Ayo or Oyo, from the word yo. Yo is a street or pathway or a highway or a road to somewhere. So Ayo or Oyo are these children that were born on their mother's way to the midwife or to the hospital. So it means the delivery takes place before the mother reaches the facility or before the mother reaches to the midwife. So they are called Ayo or Oyo. Then we have Awino or Owino. Awino or Owino are names that come from the word wino. Wino is found mostly in maize. And it covers the maize cob and all that. So a child that is named Awino or Owino is this child that had his or her umbilical cord tying the neck. It's like an almost complicated delivery. So such kind of a child or that kind of a child would refer to as Awino or Owino. Then again we have Auma or Ouma. It is believed that Auma or Ouma are children that were born and they came out while facing down. It's not a confirmed myth or belief, but most people say so. Then Aloach. It could be seasonal or circumstantial. Aloach is a child that is born when it is misty. It is misty, the sun is up, or maybe it is up at a distance and you cannot feel the heat. It is mist or fog. Some people refer to it as fog. So anybody born at that time is called Aloach or Oloach. Then there are these names that may not have meanings per se because they are given after legendary figures in Luoland. For example, we have Gor. There's a story about Gor Mahia that we all know about, and that is why we even have that team called Gor Mahia. So those were called Gor. They're actually people who are named after legends, so legendary members of Luo community. Other names in this category include Were, Obongo or Abongo, Odinga, and all that. Then currently we have a modern naming system. They're still Luo names, but the current mom or the current mother uses this to name their children. Most of them are circumstantial, or others depend on the mood of the mother or how things are at that particular time. Such names include Hawi. Now Hawi means luck. Hawi. Then we have Hera. A child can be given the name Hera. That is love. Then again we have Mich. Mich means gift. So parents would name their children as a gift from the Lord. Then we have Gweth. Gweth is a blessing. Amor. Amor. I'm happy. Probably the mother is excited or is happy about the birth of the child, or maybe they had waited for a very long time to get this particular child. So the child could be named Amor. Then we have Hono. Hono is a miracle. And you realize that most of them could be biblical, but they have specific meanings. So this modern naming are unisex. Actually, most of them can be used by either girls or boys. So in general, in Luo, as much as the naming system was there, any child that was a girl, the name had to begin with A. And any child who is a boy, the name begins with O. That is all that I have for today. Thank you very much. I'm Christine Were. Let us meet another time. Oriti.